Hey everybody, just so you know, Alucard's half human, so you don't have to worry about that vampire bite. He doesn't actually like drinking blood, surprisingly.
What?
And surprisingly, there's only two vampires in this entire game.
Wow.
But yeah,
I
this
brought
is the
way
Saturn
more blood
version.
than necessary then to the function.
We're only going to see one of those vampires because we're going to horrifically break the game. This can only be done in the Saturn version, funny enough. So without any further ado, I think we should get started. So, in 3, 2, 1, let us begin the run. Now, you may have noticed that I just clicked on Maria. That's because we're going to trick the game completely. This is why this can only be done in the Saturn version, because the Saturn version is the only one with the portrait system. The way Konami fixed this in the PSP version was you have to spell the character's name, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess. Don't play the PSP version. Don't play the PS4 version. They're both awful. But yeah, this version was only released in Japan. They actually had to do a lot of workarounds, such as with Alucard's Mist, as you will see. This also is the most feature-rich version of the game because there's 2 extra areas, an extra boss, 2 extra weapons, and 1 extra relic, which is the Godspeed boots. I don't know why they didn't put them into any other version, but they didn't. And for some reason, the game's director hates this version. So it's like, oh, well, that's unfortunate because it's the best one. Maria, please jump. Thank you. So we want to try to jump into this room because that way Maria will keep her momentum. Otherwise, we don't get that. We're also resetting the game. The Sega was like, all games have to be able to reset by pressing A, B, C, and start. It's a soft reset. Instead of a hard reset. The Dreamcast also has this feature, only add in the extra button, rather than the 3. So now we have done the thing, and now we're going to do it again, and if done correctly, you will just see the game. If you see loading now, you have messed it up. So now we have officially told the game that we're still Maria when we're actually Alucard. So what does this mean? We get all of her stats, all of her relics, all of her items. She has 200 HP, 200 MP, the ability to carry 1,000 hearts, and has every relic in the game, as well as the Dragon Helm. The Dragon Helm doesn't really help that much. It's more the relics and the 200 HP, 200 MP. So here we go, turning on our relics that we need.
This game is about to be so confused.
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's horrifically broken right now. Until you go into a save room, the game's broken. You can't do anything. You need to hard reset if you never go into a save room if you want to do another run. Fun fact. Also, one thing about the Saturn version, infinite wing smashes without having to repeatedly hit the input. So it's a lot easier on the hand.
And that means
Two
creature
gravity
for
jumps.
us also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Alucard has the ability to turn into a bat, a wolf, and mist. Unfortunately, wolf is not that helpful for us here. This is fine. I get a little bit of extra mana because of that. So that's good. Oh, there we go. Again, using the bat to cancel the gravity jump, and then backdashing is still our fastest form of human movement, even though we don't have the shield. Godspeed boots are more useful for jumps because for whatever reason they also speed up your jumps, which we will see soon. So here we go. Also, wing smashing makes us invincible and will allow us to kill some enemies for some safety levels. Because we will be going into Castle 2 horrifically underleveled to the point where almost anything can kill us.
Glitching out the game would never do that, right?
No, never. So here we go. Here is the Godspeed boots. You'll notice he's doing the run that he does at the beginning of the game if you've played the PlayStation version or the Xbox version. So there we go. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Transform into bat for consistency's sake. A lot of top runners will diagonal gravity jump, which can be a little difficult. And then we're going to pick up the strength potion. There is a faster way, but it requires some math. Game, are we okay? There we go. And I don't know how to do that math. Uh-oh. Nope. Okay. Can we have a second?
Yes, of course we can. And while we go ahead and figure out all this, I am going to remind chat that we don't just have SGDQ submissions open, but we do. We have them today. But we also have GDQ live at PAX East from May 8th to 11th, and the submissions are now open until March 23rd. So visit submissions.gamesdonequick.com to submit your runs. Accepted runners will be provided an event badge too. So if you are planning to be at PAX East, you know what to do. We would love to see you apply.
Okay, I think we're good. I think we can only hope. I've never seen that pop up, so I was like, oh no.
We've never seen it before. We had to say the thing. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we're good. I think.
Right.
Okay. Sorry about that. Really weird. Saturn version is fun sometimes. All right,
Saturn.
Here we go. So, we're on our way to the first boss. We only fight 4 bosses in this game, or in this run. We fight the Hippogriff, Medusa, and then Shaft and Dracula. So here we go. Using our punches, and then going to use the holy water. This is why we pick up the holy water. The holy water is going to be more important for Medusa than it is the Hippogriff. Do not transform into bat and run out of the screen, because this loading screen turns us back, so you'd just be wasting mana by doing that. There is another screen where that's also going to happen. So here we go. Don't go into that room. Very bad to go into that room, because you will be stuck there for a second. Because the thing is, the save room is still waiting to be activated, so it's going to play the save animations still. And so it's like, oh no. And now we're going to take an extra risk here, where killing them has a chance to... Oh, okay. It happened. Yay. So we lost our holy water. That's what happens when you fight Axe Lords. They have a chance to drop the Axe subweapon. It's not the end of the world. It's just going to make Medusa a little bit more time-consuming. And now we're going to break the game even further. By backdashing and holding forward, we get this. Would anyone like to see the moon? Because I can show you the moon. By going a little bit to the right, but not going up, we can make the moon spawn back in. So there we go.
Hello, moon.
All right. And then we're going to 1, 2, 3. And if done correctly, we warp into the second castle. Everything here is very OP. Typically, in a casual playthrough, you're going to be around level 40. We're still in our teens. And also vertical wing smashing is going to happen. There we go. Again, vertical wing smashing is not a thing that's supposed to happen, but because we glitched into the second castle, that allows to happen. These panthers have a 1 in 33 chance of dropping the Masamune, which will do 200 damage to Dracula and Shaft. However, it's very, very hard to get unless you do that math I talked about. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay.
Just regular Saturn things.
Mm-hmm. Ow. Okay, we have her stun locked currently. Oh. Come on. There we go. There we go. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it did take a little bit longer. Again, she does about 45 damage every time she hits you, so you don't have a lot of chances to take hits. However, we did get a nice little mana regen because of that. And now we're getting some levels because of the Panthers. And then up. Careful, because the pumpkin pods will also do a lot of damage. So here we go, more levels. Going down. And then for safety, we're going to pick up some extra health. And also grab the mana prism so that we can heal our mana. We're also going to do the same glitch again that I did earlier to get out of bounds again. Funny enough, I accidentally figured out how to do this and not take damage. It's only ever happened once. Ow, that hurt. And it's... Ooh, no, it didn't happen there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we're in the reverse chapel.
Okay.
Wait, we were always there. We're about to go into the reverse Colosseum. That is not where I want that. We want to be very careful with the strength potion because if we accidentally use it too early, Dracula is going to take much, much, much longer. So now we're going to use the mana prism. Be careful when using it because if you use it, for example, while transitioning into a load screen, such as a CD room, you will negate the potion completely. And then you won't have the mana necessary to continue. Taking a bit of a risk here, because everything here will do a minimum of about 50 damage.
Oh. Do not want to see that.
Hence why wing smashing is so important. Mm-hmm. There we go, nice little heal. Sure, why not have some hearts? Go down. There we go. And now we're in reverse Ulrox's quarters. Ulrox is the other vampire. If you've watched Castlevania Nocturne, you would be familiar with Ulrox. Ulrox doesn't really play that big of a role in this game. He's just kind of here. And he doesn't really do much. Except for turn very giant and green. So here we go. 1. There we go.
Alucard has some sweet dance moves, I just gotta say. Absolutely tearing it up. And you're tearing up this game. It is fully destroyed.
All right, now everybody get ready for the 13 dings of Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
There would be a way to avoid the 13 dings of Scooby-Doo. I call it the 13 dings of Scooby-Doo because the clock dings 13 times. So why not reference a 1970s cartoon? There is a way to avoid this. However, it wants to be complicated these days, and I'm just like, yeah, let's not and say we did and just do this. Again, it just skips the cutscene. It's slightly faster. The entire cutscene takes about 25 seconds in total. And now we're going into the final boss fight. It is a double boss fight, and will require us to use Tetra Spirits for the first half. So here we are. We're also going to see if I can get some swag here. So we're going to transform into the bat, wing smash, transform, gravity jump, transform again, and here we go. Swag? No. So what the swag would be is that I untransform right as we hit the hole and we just go down. So here we have Shaft. He's a very nasty person, and so we're just going to Tetra Spirit here to be able to hit him, transforming into mist in order to not take damage. Again, you can do any spell in the game if you know the command for it. Also, he's in a really good spot to be punched. So that's what we're gonna do. Ooh, we are doing, I don't think I've done 28 damage from punches before. So we could be very, very, very good for Dracula. Unfortunate. There we go. There we go. And because we're not in
Beautiful.
mist, we'll be regenerating our mana, as you just kind of saw it, little tiny blip go up. We're going to be Tetraspiriting Dracula as he's coming down for a little bit of assist. So here we go. Of course, every version still has the same Japanese dub. It's only the English dub they ever changed. And it's very unfortunate. So if you're playing the PS4 version or the PSP version, you do not get what is a man but a miserable pile of secrets, all that dialogue. So here we go. Doing pretty good damage at 54. While he's summoning Karasu Man, we're going to jump on his head. This attack right here will do 128 damage, so very, very, very careful about avoiding it. There we go. These Xenomorph heads will do 80 damage if they hit you. And also these triangles will do 80 damage if they hit you. Now we go back to the hands. Also, Dracula claim... Oh, there we go. Time.
Whoa,
Go back
whoa,
whence you came,
time.
trouble the soul of my mother no more. How? How is it that I've been so defeated? You were doomed ever since you lost the ability to love. Ah, sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul? Matthew 16:26, I believe. Tell me, what were Lisa's last words? She said, do not hate humans, for if you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm. Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son. Choo, 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 choo. So yeah, that was the run.
Incredible, Abby.
This is the shortest category you can do for Soden if you know how to do the math stuff. Shout outs to the Swarm. Shout outs to Eldridge, who does the randomizer stuff. Of course, shout outs to Jupiter Climb and Dragon Blitz. And a lot of the Soden community. Head to the Long Library if you want to get involved with anything Soden related. Some really good folks there. This has been Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Also, shout-outs to Jadelyn Gaming and to Satan herself. You should follow both of them. Both of them lovely people. And, yeah.
And shout-outs to you.
the
Where can
run.
the chat find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Abby's Corner. I'm also on Blue Sky under Abby's Corner. So, yeah, I'm a bit everywhere. But yeah, thank you for having me on the first show.
Of course, you were absolutely wonderful. And this game is just amazing. So wild. You did a great job presenting it. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
無事だったようだな。
アルカードよかったあなたも無事だったね
That was Castlevania Symphony of the Night Saturn Edition. You'll see why I wanted the Saturn version on this show. Just absolutely broken. And we're about to break another game. After the break, we've got Sonic Colors Ultimate Egg Shuttle by New SR. You definitely do not want to miss our Final Transformations game, so go ahead and come on back after a short break.